For more updates, click on subscribe and click on bell button for latest notifications.
First, for the first time, if you want to configure the AWS CLI, so you have to create the dedicated user for that. So to do that, click on the add user and provide your username. In this case, I am providing techarkit1 and say next. Now you can select the policy or the group access. So I have the local user group here. So I'm just selecting the local users group, and permission boundaries also you can select that and click next. Now, so you're ready to create the user and click create the user, and it will just wait for a minute and say your user has been created. Click on that particular user and go to security credentials and generate the access key to integrate your CLI with this particular user. So you have to generate that and select the command line access and command line interface. Then next, click next. So you say you understand this risk and what are the security permissions you required, and say next. Now provide the description, what is the user is for. Let's say AWS CLI. In this case, I would like to provide the description as AWS CLI and say access keys. Now you have to download these access keys, then say done. Now you got your access key and secret. To access this one, either you can access from the AWS CLI or your Linux machine or anything. But for this demo purpose, I'm using the AWS Cloud Shell. For the first time, you have to configure the AWS credentials. To use that AWS configure is the command. You have to provide the access key and secret key, then it enter by default region and the format to be done. Now you can just say AWS S3 LS to list out how many buckets you have. If you have the lot of buckets, it actually lists all of those buckets here. Okay. So I have only one bucket. It shows AWS 3ls only one bucket. To create the new bucket, AWS S3 MB, which means that make bucket. So you have to provide the S3 colon slash slash bucket name, which is like my bucket slash techarkit. Then it is asking you for the region, which region actually you would like to create it here. So you have to provide that region value. Example, say hyphen region, and provide the region value here where you want to create. Example, I wanted to create in AP South 1. So I'm providing that region value here, hyphen region, and you can copy that value from up there. Okay, so AP dash South dash 1, enter. So now your bucket has been created. Again, go to AWS S3 LS and you can able to see that your bucket listing. AWS S3 LS. Now see there are two buckets in my S3 bucket list. My bucket Tech Arkit, my bucket Tech Arkit. There is a dash involved in that. So now if you want to create some files here and upload it to the AWS, say touch, I would like to say I would like to create some files here for testing purpose, uploading files, right? And you can write some content to that one and upload it, right? So I'm using the VI here to write some data. Let's say testing upload, something like that, testing file. So copy those lines and paste it and save it. Now S3 AWS S3 copy and provide the file name and provide the destination bucket name where you would like to copy that data. So this is my AWS S3 copy, and local file name is uploading files and destination is bucket name. Now list that file is uploaded or not using AWS S3 ls S3 colon slash slash bucket name slash. It will list all the files which are there on that particular bucket. You can see uploading files .txt has been uploaded successfully. You can see that the file is listing from the bucket. So now let's see AWS S3. If you want to remove that particular file, rm and provide that full path to that bucket s3 colon slash slash my dash bucket dash techarkit slash upload file uploading file.txt, then it will remove that particular file. Example, if you provide the bucket name only, it will delete the data in that particular bucket. Okay, avoid that. So I'm just deleting that particular file. Now if again go back to the AWS S3 LS to that particular bucket and see whether the file is exist or not. Now you can see like arkit slash enter. So there is no file. The file is removed. Now what you can do is that synchronizing the files. If you have the multiple files, so you cannot manually upload them like thousands of files. You wanted to synchronize the data which is available on your local storage to the bucket. What you can do, AWS S3 sync and provide the dart which actually syncs the current directory where you are in. Then you can go to that bucket and see the data and say AWS S3 LS and provide the bucket name slash, then it will provide the all the data which is synchronized to that bucket. You can see there are so many data has been synchronized. Now if you want to delete that all this bucket data, so uh, before that I have removed only a particular file from that, but if you want to delete all the files from that bucket, so what you can do, you can use the simple option that recursively delete the data. So it will delete entire bucket data from that. Let's say AWS S3 RM and provide that S3 bucket name slash and say hyphen recursive. So it will recursively delete the data from that bucket. Everything will be wiped off. Now you can say AWS S3 LS and bucket name slash. It does not have anything in that. S3 my dash bucket dash techarkit slash. Now you can see nothing is there. So if you want to remove the bucket, so first of all you have to make the bucket empty, then run AWS S3 RB. RB means remove the bucket and provide the bucket name so that it will remove the bucket. The bucket will be deleted from the S3 and you can see AWS S3 LS. So there is only one bucket. So these are the simple AWS S3 LS command. You can use it any